Human eye. Eyes are pair of sensory organs of vision. These are located in the orbit of skull with a cushion of fat around them. Each eye is spherical, rounded, and called eyeball. Eyes are protected by bones, eyebrows, upper and lower eyelids with eyelashes and the lacrimal tear glands. Movement of eyeball within the orbit is controlled by 6 sets of muscles. So these are the 6 sets of muscles which control the movement of eyeball. Wall of eyeball is made up of 3 layers, that is sclera, choroid and retina. So this is sclera, this is choroid and this is retina. Sclera, it is the outermost layer made up of dense fibroelastic connective tissue with collagen fibers. They provide attachment to the eyeball muscles. The anterior thick transparent part of sclera is cornea. So this is cornea, which is anterior thick transparent part of sclera. It is slightly bulged out for focusing light on the retina. The sclera is provided with blood vessels. However, cornea is devoid of them. Means in cornea, blood vessels are absent. They are present in sclera. Cornea is nourished by aqueous humor and also by lacrimal secretion. The exposed part of sclera and the entire cornea are covered by transparent membranous covering called conjunctiva. So this is conjunctiva. It provides protection and lubrication to the cornea. Next is choroid. It's a middle vascular and pigmented layer. It is not complete layer and can be divided into 3 regions. That is choroid proper, ciliary body and iris. So choroid is divided into 3 regions: choroid proper, ciliary body and iris. Choroid proper, it lines the sclera. Due to its pigmented nature, it prevents internal reflection. The blood vessels of choroid provide nutrition and oxygen to the retina. Next is ciliary body. It is a thick, muscular, ring-like structure at the junction of choroid and iris. Its epithelium secretes aqueous humor. Attachment to the ciliary body are suspensor ligaments which holds the lens. The ligament and muscles of the ciliary body helps in the adjustment of the size of lens. Iris at the junction of sclera and cornea. The vascular part of choroid sharply bends into the cavity of eyeball, forming a thin and colored partition called iris. It is perforated in the middle by an aperture called pupil. Smooth muscle of the iris helps in regulating the size of pupil depending on the intensity of light entering the eyeball. The pigment in the iris determines the color of the eye. Lens. It is a transparent, elastic, biconvex structure. It is suspended in the eyeball by the suspensory ligaments. The lens and suspensory ligaments divide the cavity of the eyeball into a smaller anterior aqueous chamber filled with a clear watery fluid, aqueous humor. and a posterior large vitreous chamber filled with jelly-like vitreous humor. It maintains shape of eyeball and maintains pressure for keeping the lens in position. Retina. It is the innermost, delicate, non-vascular, light-sensitive layer. It has two regions, a single layer of pigmented, non-sensory part lining the iris and ciliary body, sensory part lining the choroid. It has an outer pigmented part and an inner nervous part. The inner nervous part is transparent and made up of three layers. Outer photosensitive layer made up of rod and cone cells. Middle layer of bipolar nerve cell. An inner layer of ganglion cells. The nerve fibers from the basal end of the ganglion cells collectively forms the optic nerve. Blind spot. It is an area diagonally opposite to the lens. It is the area of retina from where the optic nerve and blood vessels leave the eyeball. There are no rod and cone cells in this region. An area lateral to the and above the blind spot is called yellow area or macula lutea. At its center is a depression called lobia centralis. It has maximum density of cone cells and is the place of formation of sharpest vision. The rod and cone cells lie deep in the retina so that light has to pass through the ganglion and bipolar cells before reaching them. Photoreceptor cells. These are two types, rod cells and cone cells. They contain light-sensitive protein termed as photopigments. The cones are responsible for daylight photopic vision and color vision, while the rod function in dim light scotopic vision. The purple red protein called rhodopsin is present in the rods, which is vitamin A derivative. The cones are of three types, which contain their own characteristic photopigments that responds to red, green and blue light. Various combination of these cones and their photopigment produce sensation of different colors. The sensation of white light is produced due to the simultaneous equal stimulation of these three types of cone. The optic nerve consists of the fibers arising from the base of ganglion cell. It leaves the eyeball from the posterior side and carries visual impulses from the retina to the brain.